For a desperate college senior like Martin Ma, money isn't just a want, it's a survival necessity. With his father's medical bills piling up and his family on the brink, he takes a job at an exclusive, high-paying entertainment club. His life takes a sharp, terrifying turn when a mysterious and beautiful client passes out in his private room. One moment, he's a student server trying not to get fired. The next, he's thrust into the cutthroat world of corporate power, becoming the personal assistant to the very same woman, a formidable CEO named Claire Zhou. Plunged into a life of luxury, secrets, and high-stakes demands, Martin must navigate a world where he is completely out of his depth, and where one wrong move could cost him everything. Martin Ma was a senior in college, studying computer software engineering. As his final year began, he polished his resume and sent it out to every internship he could find. After submitting another round of applications online, he grabbed a quick lunch at the university cafeteria and rushed off to his part-time job at the Dynasty Entertainment Club. He'd found the gig through an online ad. It was specific, seeking male servers, 18 to 25 years old, over 5'10", physically fit. The ad noted that good looks and a talent for singing or dancing were a plus. The pay was described as generous, and part-time work was an option. Desperate, Martin had gone to the interview immediately. The receptionist at the opulent club had given him a once-over before handing him an application form. The form was strange. Beyond the usual personal details, it asked about his hobbies, his special talents, and whether he worked out regularly. It even asked for the maximum number of push-ups and sit-ups he could do in one go, and his tolerance for beer, red wine, and whiskey. A red flag went up in his mind. Was this some kind of illegal establishment? He needed the money, but he wouldn't break the law for it. He hesitantly asked the receptionist about the job's duties. She had smiled professionally, pointing to the business license hanging on the wall. She explained that the physical requirements were because of the late hours, and sometimes employees were asked to taste test alcohol before recommending it to clients. His only job, she assured him, was to serve guests in the private karaoke rooms. Nothing more. Relieved, Martin filled out the form, exaggerating his abilities. 600 push-ups, 500 sit-ups. An avid runner, a talented singer and dancer. He claimed he could handle 5 large beers, 8 glasses of red wine, and 3 glasses of whiskey. He had to get this job. Ever since his father, the family's breadwinner, was diagnosed with cancer, their finances had collapsed. After the surgery, his dad couldn't work, relying on medication and rest. His mother had taken a job as a sanitation worker in their small town, but her income was barely enough. His younger sister was in high school, preparing for her college entrance exams. If she got into a university, the financial burden would become even heavier. So Martin did whatever he could to earn money, not just for his own tuition and living expenses, but to send some back home. He'd tutored, worked as a waiter, and even posted on social media offering his services as a temporary boyfriend or designated driver. He'd even posed as a nude model for the art academy. The best-paying gig had been as a liquor promoter in a bar, which is where he truly developed his alcohol tolerance. But that ended when the dean of his department reprimanded him for constantly reeking of alcohol in class. His roommate and best friend, Mark, knew about his situation. He had joked, "You've been blessed with a face that could kill, brother. It's a waste not to use it. Since you're so broke, just go find a rich older woman. That'll solve all your problems." Martin had sighed. "And where am I supposed to find one of those? I've been here for almost 4 years and haven't seen a single one." "That's because you're always busy working dead-end jobs. You have to go where they are," Mark insisted. "Try an entertainment club. I hear that's where the rich hang out. Where there are rich men, there are rich women. Maybe you'll get lucky. Besides, the pay is great." So Martin started looking, and soon enough, he found the ad for the Dynasty. Now, the receptionist glanced at his application. "Martin Ma? Follow me." She led him to an office and knocked. A voice from inside said, "Come in." She ushered Martin in and approached a woman sitting behind a large desk. "Manager Zhang, this is the applicant, Martin Ma. Here is his form." The receptionist placed the application on the desk, turned, and left, closing the door behind her. Martin stood there nervously. "You're Martin Ma?" the manager asked. "Yes, Manager Zhang." "Hello." Manager Zhang looked him up and down. "Your qualifications are good. Have you ever worked in this industry before?" "You mean in an entertainment club?" "No, but I've worked as a waiter in a restaurant." "Close enough. You meet our requirements. When can you start?" "Anytime," he replied immediately. "Good. Be here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Shifts run from 5 in the evening until 2 in the morning. Dinner and a late-night meal are included. Any problems with that?" "Manager Zhang, what's the salary structure and when is payday?" "There's a 2-month probation period. During that time, the base salary is $3,000 a month, plus a 10% commission on the total spending in the rooms you manage. After probation, the commission increases to 20%. We pay on the 15th of every month. Any tips from customers are yours to keep." A base salary was a relief. The commission was an unknown, and he had no idea what to expect from tips. Not wanting to seem greedy, he decided to give it a try. "I can start tomorrow, Manager Zhang. I'll be here on time." "Excellent. When you arrive, go to the front desk to complete your onboarding paperwork. Someone will be assigned to train you. Stick with them for a month, and you'll learn the ropes. Okay, thank you, Manager Zhang. Martin was thrilled. He had a job with a base salary and 2 meals included. The next day, he arrived on time. After finishing the paperwork and getting his uniform, he was paired with a senior employee. Dinner was a rushed 30 minutes in the staff canteen. His trainer was a supervisor named Gary Gua. Newbie, Gary said, beckoning him. Follow me. Martin followed him to a private room upstairs, fully equipped with a karaoke system. This will be your room, Gary explained. You'll be responsible for all the guests' orders, drinks, food, everything. First, familiarize yourself with our services. Gary handed him an iPad. Martin opened the service menu. It listed things like singing performance service, $200 per hour. Premium liquor recommendation, a 10% service charge on the price of the bottle. Designated driver service, price to be negotiated with the client. And transportation service, price also negotiated directly. Martin's mind began to churn. He was starting to get a clearer, if more unsettling, picture of what this job entailed. Gary confirmed that the fees for the last 2 services were his to negotiate and keep entirely. Martin's first couple of days were spent shadowing Gary in the women's section of the club. The clientele consisted mostly of older, wealthy-looking women, with a few younger ones sprinkled in. On his 3rd day, a rare guest arrived in his room. She was young and breathtakingly beautiful. Martin approached the beautiful woman with practiced politeness. Miss, would you like to order? I can show you our menu. Just bring me some of your signature appetizers, she said, her voice a pleasant, melodic alto. And a bottle of red. A Bordeaux. Right away, miss. I've noted it down. It'll be out shortly. Martin quickly placed her order on the iPad and brought her a pot of hot tea. What kind of tea do you prefer? This is a dragon well. Please see if it's to your liking. It's fine, the woman replied lazily, taking a sip. Martin waited, but no one else joined her. She was really here alone. Soon, a waiter delivered the food and the expensive wine. Martin expertly opened the bottle, letting it breathe to soften the tannins. He then arranged a few of the small dishes in front of her. Why don't you sit down? She said suddenly. Either sit with me or eat with me. I don't like being watched. I'm sorry, miss, but my boss forbids us from eating during work hours. I can stand by the door if you'd like. Just call me if you need anything. The woman's expression soured. What kind of server are you? If you're at the door, who's going to pour my wine? Of course, Martin said quickly, his tone respectful. I'll sit right here and pour for you. Her temper was as sharp as her looks. He guessed she'd had a fight with her boyfriend and was here to drink her sorrows away. He sat beside her, refilling her glass and occasionally placing a piece of food on her plate. But she barely touched the food, focusing entirely on the wine. Miss, you should eat something, he ventured gently. Drinking on an empty stomach isn't good for you. She shot him a glare. Less talking. Just pour the wine and stop being annoying. Silenced, Martin quietly obliged. Before long, her cheeks were flushed and the bottle of wine was empty. She swayed, then slumped sideways, her head landing softly on Martin's thigh. She seemed to have passed out. Martin glanced at the table. The food was mostly untouched. She had definitely come here to get drunk. After a while, she seemed to be sound asleep. Only then did Martin dare to look at her closely. She appeared to be around 30, with smooth, fair skin and delicately arched brows that held a hint of strength. Her eyes were closed, her cheeks a natural, rosy pink. Her dark hair cascaded over her shoulders, and the rise and fall of her chest with each breath was incredibly alluring. She was, by any measure, a goddess. Martin, who had never even been in a relationship, felt his throat go dry. His heart hammered against his ribs. What kind of idiot would upset a woman this beautiful? He cursed silently. With the woman's head resting on his lap like a pillow, Martin didn't dare move. His legs slowly went numb. A long time passed. No one came to pick her up, and the bill was still unpaid. Panic began to set in. This was only his 3rd day. He had no idea how to handle this. He called his supervisor, Gary. Gary, I have a female guest here who's passed out drunk. She hasn't paid. What do I do? Probably had a big fight with her husband, Gary said casually. Don't worry about it. Try to wake her up. Okay. Martin leaned in and spoke softly. Miss, wake up. This is a club. Should I call someone to take you home? He tried several times, but she didn't respond. Gary, she won't wake up. All right, in that case, just let her sleep it off. Then get her to pay. And whatever you do, don't let her leave on her own. If something happens, we'll be in big trouble. When she wakes up, call the valet service. Have one of the guys bring her car around and help get her home. You need to go with them. Make sure she gets inside safely. Oh, okay, I understand. Martin hung up and resigned himself to waiting. An hour later, the woman stirred, murmuring softly. Miss, are you awake? Martin asked gently. She let out a long breath, shifted, and nearly rolled off the sofa. Martin instinctively wrapped his arms around her to keep her from falling. Miss, it's time to wake up. Have you had too much to drink? She rubbed her eyes, blinking. Her gaze focused on the handsome young man holding her. Her face hardened with anger, and she slapped him across the face. She tried to stand, but lost her balance and tumbled right back into his arms. This time, Martin didn't dare hold her. To steady herself, She instinctively wrapped her arms around his waist. The awkwardness of the situation made her face burn. "You little creep," she spat. "Why didn't you wake me up when I fell asleep?" "Miss, you've got it all wrong. I tried calling you many times, but you were sleeping too deeply. And you just held me while I slept? You did it on purpose." "No, you were the one who fell asleep on my lap. My legs are completely numb," he explained frantically. "Couldn't you have pushed me awake? You were obviously taking advantage of me being drunk." "Please, miss, don't be angry. I really didn't do anything. Could you please get up? I can't feel my legs." Martin forced a pained smile. The woman finally realized she was still sitting on his lap. She scrambled to her feet. Martin vigorously rubbed his legs, trying to get the feeling back. "Miss," he said, wincing, "you still haven't paid the bill. After you settle up, I can have a colleague help you home." She glared at him. "How much?" Martin quickly tapped the checkout button on the iPad and showed the screen to the woman. "Miss, if you could confirm the amount. You can scan the QR code or use a card. It's not much. I'll use the code." Martin watched as she scanned the code with her phone. Several $1,000s, and she called it not much. She was definitely wealthy. "Thank you, miss," Martin said once the payment was complete. "If you'll wait here, I'll have the valet bring your car around." He made the call, then turned back to her. "Miss, are you steady enough to walk?" She ignored him and grabbed her handbag, striding towards the door. After a few steps, she stumbled, nearly falling. Martin rushed forward and caught her arm, supporting her. He guided her out to the main entrance and helped her into the back seat of her car. He then got into the front passenger seat, joining his colleague from the valet service. "Miss, where are we heading?" he asked. She tapped her phone a few times. "Just follow the navigation on this address." Martin took out his own phone and entered the location she showed him. When they arrived, she instructed them, "Drive into the underground garage." They did, and she directed them to a parking spot diagonally across from the elevator bank. Martin quickly got out, opened her door, and helped her to the elevator. He watched the doors slide shut before he finally left. Stepping out of the garage and onto the street, he looked up. It was a magnificent, high-end office building. He wondered if the beautiful woman worked there. Shaking his head, he crossed the street to the bus stop and headed back to his dorm. The commission from that expensive bottle of wine would be several $100s. The slap still stung, but for that kind of money, he could endure it. When he got back to his room, his roommate Mark greeted him excitedly. "Hey, you're back. I've got good news. I landed an internship. I start tomorrow. How about you? Any luck?" "Let me check," Martin said, booting up his laptop. He scanned his inbox and found a new message. An interview invitation. He happily jotted down the address and time. "I got an interview too. Hopefully, this one works out. Let's go grab something good from the cafeteria to celebrate. I have my interview this afternoon, then I have to go back to the club, so I can't see you off. Bro, text me as soon as you get to your new company, alright?" "Of course," Mark said with a wink. "And you let me know how your interview goes. Who knows, maybe I can put in a good word with my boss and get you in with me." Following the address later that day, Martin found himself standing in front of a familiar building. It was the same one where he had dropped off the woman from the club last night. What a coincidence. He took the elevator to the designated floor. The reception area was vast and impressive. He stated his purpose to the receptionist, who made a quick phone call. "Martin, Manager Mao will see you now. It's the third office down the hall." Martin found the office and knocked. "Come in," a woman's voice called out. He opened the door and saw a middle-aged woman at a desk. She was slightly plump, with a round, friendly-looking face. She looked up and smiled. "Ah, a handsome young man. Please, have a seat. You must be Martin." "Yes, hello Manager Mao. I'm here to interview for the internship position. We received your resume," she said. "Your major is a good fit. Tell me, what are your expectations for this internship?" "Well, Manager Mao, I'm mainly looking to apply my theoretical knowledge in a practical setting. I'm not afraid of hard work, and I'm willing to take on any tasks the department assigns me. Our corporation is currently undergoing a major upgrade of its internal software systems. Your degree in computer software engineering is exactly what we need. The position is 5 days a week, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., with a lunch break from noon to 2. The company has a cafeteria. To be honest, the pay for interns isn't high, just the city's minimum wage standard for a 3-month period. However, if you perform well, there's a chance to be hired as a full-time employee with a proper salary and benefits. Would you like to consider it?" Martin sighed internally. Minimum wage was barely enough to live on, but he'd heard of internships that only offered a small stipend, or nothing at all. Plus, a 5 p.m. finish time meant he could still make his shift at the club, though he'd have to skip dinner. It was only for 3 months. Gritting his teeth, he accepted and signed the internship contract. "When can you start?" Molly Mao asked. "Today is Friday. Can I start this Monday?" "Monday is fine. Now, take this contract to the front desk to get your employee ID processed. You'll need it to get through security. Don't leave without it. On Monday, you'll report directly to me." "Okay, thank you, Manager Mao." Martin got his ID badge, but left without getting a tour of his new department. On the bus ride to the club, he realized he hadn't properly researched the company. He'd just been desperate for an internship. That night, after his shift, he looked it up. The company was Zhou Corporation. The chairman was Jonah Zhou. The CEO was someone named Claire Zhou. The name was so neutral, he couldn't guess if the CEO was male or female. On Monday morning, he rushed to the bus stop and made it to the office at 8:25 a.m., just in time. He ran into Molly Mao at her office door. "Good morning, Manager Mao," he said politely. She led him inside. "Martin, you're here? Today you'll start in the electronic data maintenance department. It's the heart of our company, a very important department. You need to learn well." "I will, Manager Mao. I'll work hard." "The department is on the B1 level. Go down and report to Manager Howard Huang. He will assign your work. I've already spoken to him, so just go find him directly." "Got it. Thank you for the arrangements, Manager Mao." Martin took the elevator down to the basement level. The doors opened to a security checkpoint. "Sir, who are you looking for?" a guard asked. "Hello, I'm looking for Manager Howard Huang. What is the purpose of your visit?" "I'm a new intern. Manager Mao sent me to report to him." "Oh, I see. One moment." The guard made a call, then ran a security check on Martin before letting him pass. Inside, Martin found the office labeled Manager Howard Huang and knocked. A man's voice called, "Come in." He entered and saw a middle-aged man with thinning hair. "Manager Huang, hello. My name is Martin Ma. I'm the new intern, here to report for duty." "Right? Have a seat. I'll have team leader Jiang show you around. You'll be working under him." Soon, a young man of about 25 arrived. This was Jason Jiang. He led Martin to a large open-plan office with more than a dozen workstations. "This will be your desk," Jason said. "Computer and office supplies are all set up. Let me know if you need anything." "Great. Thanks, team leader Jiang." "No problem, we're colleagues now. Come on, I'll take you on a tour of the company's data center." Martin followed him into a vast, temperature-controlled room. Rows upon rows of servers hummed quietly. "This is the company's nerve center," Jason said, his voice serious. "It's extremely important. You are not allowed in here alone, only with my permission. Remember that." "Got it," Martin said. "Your main job will be to assist me in monitoring the data flow. It's not difficult. Your computer has all the work regulations and procedures. Read through them carefully and ask me if you have any questions." They finished the tour and returned to the office. Martin spent the rest of the morning reading through dozens of pages of protocols. At noon, he went with Jason to the massive company cafeteria for lunch. The food was good, and he felt satisfied. He planned to head back to his desk for a quick nap, since his part-time job left him perpetually sleep-deprived. The B2 level of the building was the parking garage. As Martin walked past the stairwell connecting B1 and B2, he paused to let a car pass. A luxury sedan glided past, then stopped abruptly. The window rolled down. Martin stared. It was the beautiful woman from the club. The woman's face was a mask of anger as she stared at Martin. "What are you doing here?" "I work here," he replied. "What do you mean? Work here?" she scoffed. "Don't you work at the entertainment club? What kind of work are you doing here?" "I'm part-time at the club," Martin answered honestly. "I'm an intern here." "An intern? You're a college student?" "Yes, I'm a senior." "Get in," she commanded. "I need to talk to you. Stop wasting my time and get in the car." Her tone left no room for argument. "I really can't," Martin pleaded. "It's my first day. I'll be fired for sure." "Fired? Which department are you in?" "The Corporate Electronic Data Maintenance Department. I report to Manager Huang." "Howard Huang?" "Yes. How do you know him?" "Do you know him?" "Enough talk. Get in my car. Now." Another car is coming. Defeated, Martin slid into the back seat. The woman drove them to the underground parking garage of a five-star hotel. He figured she was probably taking him to lunch. But instead, she led him straight up to the hotel's top floor. Martin's heart began to race. What on earth did she need to say that required a private hotel suite? He remembered Gary, his supervisor at the club, telling him stories about rich women who would often take the young male servers to hotels. Surely this woman wasn't that aggressive, not in the middle of the day. Lost in his anxious thoughts, he didn't notice her make a quick phone call. She led him into a lavish suite, decorated with impeccable taste. It was the most luxurious room he had ever seen. She gestured for him to sit on the sofa, then stepped out to make another call before returning. "What's your name?" she asked. "Martin Ma." "Martin, my assistant just resigned. The position is open. You're taking it. You don't need to go back to your internship." "I don't think that's a good idea," he stammered. "It's my first day, and I've already signed an internship contract. If I just leave, the company will terminate me. I won't get my internship credit, and I won't be able to graduate. I appreciate the offer, miss, but I have to get back to work or I'll be late." "Don't worry about your internship credit. I'll take care of it. Is that clear?" "But, miss, what do you do? Where is your company? Aren't you already interning at my company? You don't know who I am." Martin's heart skipped a beat. He genuinely had no idea. He felt a flush of embarrassment. "Miss, I don't even know your name. How could I know who you are?" "I see. I'm the CEO of the company. My name is Claire Zhou." "What?" Martin's mouth fell open. He quickly clamped a hand over it. "Do you have a driver's license? Can you drive?" He had worked as a night shift taxi driver to make money, so of course he could. "Yes, I have a license. I can drive." "Good. It's settled then. After you have lunch, report to the top floor office at the company headquarters. I'll have Howard handle the transfer of your internship." Without waiting for a response, Claire turned and walked out. Martin sat alone on the impossibly comfortable leather sofa, completely stunned. Just then, the doorbell rang. He opened it to find a hotel waiter with a room service cart. "Sir, your lunch has arrived." Martin looked at the exquisite dishes. A meal in a hotel this fancy would probably cost more than all the money he had to his name. "I think you have the wrong room," he said. "I didn't order anything." The waiter smiled a knowing, almost conspiratorial smile. "There's no mistake, sir. This is the only occupied suite on the top floor. Please, enjoy your meal. The bill has already been taken care of." Martin felt his cheeks burn. The waiter had clearly jumped to the wrong conclusion, but he didn't know how to explain. The waiter set up the meal and left with a polite bow. Well, it was already paid for. It would be a waste not to eat it. Martin dug in. It was, without a doubt, the most delicious meal he had ever had in his life. After eating, he rushed back to the company. When he stepped out of the elevator onto the top floor of Zhou Corporation headquarters, a female employee immediately approached him. "Hello, are you Martin Ma?" He was famous already? Martin scratched his head and nodded with a small smile. "Yes, that's me." "Assistant Martin, please follow me." The woman, whose name was Amy Yang, led him to an office. It was spacious, at least 30 square meters, and fully equipped. His own office, just for being an assistant? The perks were incredible. Amy then handed him a set of car keys and a brand new iPhone. "Assistant Martin, these are the keys to your company car, and this is your company phone. The car is parked on the B2 level, in the space diagonally across from the elevators. I'm Amy Yang, the executive manager's secretary. Please let me know if there's anything you need." She handed him her business card. Martin took it, thanking her profusely. Sitting in his new office, Martin felt like he was in a dream. The day's events had been a dizzying roller coaster. Shaking himself back to reality, he turned on the desktop computer. There were several unread emails in his inbox, all from Claire Zhou. They detailed his new job responsibilities and her daily schedule. He focused, reading each one carefully. Just then, the new iPhone on his desk rang. "Hello, who is this?" he answered. "Martin, come to my office." It was Claire. He hurried over and knocked on her door. "Come in." He pushed the door open and was immediately struck by the sheer scale of the space. His own office was a closet compared to this. The CEO's office was enormous, nearly 1,000 square meters. It contained a large conference room, a spacious reception area, a multifunctional living space, and an elegantly decorated study. "Did you read the emails I sent you?" Claire asked. "Yes, Ms. Zhou. I've read them, and I've got the main points down." "Good. Let's get to work. Here's my schedule for the day. Since it's your first day, I prepared it myself. From now on, you are responsible for creating and managing my schedule. You will also need to remind me of my appointments. Find a way to make sure I remember everything, without fail. Any slip-ups will have serious consequences." Martin took the schedule. It was packed, a dense wall of text listing meetings and appointments. He hurried back to his office and began organizing her immediate priorities. He was new to this kind of work, and he was grateful to have Amy Yang's contact information as a lifeline. To ensure Claire never missed a thing, he set alarms on the new iPhone for every single item on her schedule. In a blur, it was suddenly 5 p.m. Remembering his other job, he quickly tidied his desk and rushed to the B2 parking garage to find his company car. He clicked the key fob, and a car beeped in response. It was a top-of-the-line, imported Lexus, worth around $80,000. With no time to admire it, he started the engine and sped toward the Dynasty Entertainment Club. He parked and ran to the employee entrance to clock in, but the machine rejected his card. It had been voided. He checked the time, 5:20 p.m. He wasn't late. What was going on? He immediately called his supervisor, Gary. "Hey, who's this?" "Oh, Martin. Didn't you quit? I heard you got an internship at some big corporation and wouldn't be coming back." "No, I didn't quit." "Who said that? I can't clock in." "Gary, can you help me out? Just vouch that I wasn't late." "Vouch for what?" "Your final wages have already been processed. Check your bank account. The money should be there." Martin quickly logged into his mobile banking app. Sure enough, his pay for the few days he'd worked, including commission, had been deposited. He was completely bewildered. Who had resigned on his behalf? While he was standing there in a daze, his new iPhone rang. It was Claire. "Martin, where are you? Get back to the company. Now." Her tone was, as always, a command. Martin had no choice but to leave the club and race back to the office. When he reached the top floor, he found Claire transformed, dressed elegantly for an evening out. "Take me to the Palace Hotel," she said the moment she saw him, already walking toward the elevator. Martin scrambled to catch up and pressed the button. Down in the garage, he held the rear door of the Lexus open for her, shielding the top of the frame with his hand. Once she was buckled in, he got into the driver's seat and set the navigation for the Palace Hotel. He parked the car and followed Claire into a grand ballroom on the 38th floor. The room was filled with glamorous, well-dressed people who all seemed important. A group of wealthy-looking women swarmed Claire as she entered. "Claire, you're here. Oh, and you brought some handsome young eye candy with you today. He's making me jealous." One of the women playfully pinched Martin's cheek, then took the opportunity to pat his chest. Martin felt a pang of anxiety. His part-time job was gone, and while he was now an executive assistant, no one had mentioned a pay raise. He was probably the world's lowest paid assistant, still earning an intern's minimum wage. But as he stood there, a thought struck him. His friend Mark was right. This place was full of rich women. He forced a smile, nodding and greeting everyone politely until his face felt stiff. Just then, a handsome, middle-aged man entered the room, and a hush fell over the crowd. He walked directly to Claire, a broad smile on his face. "Claire," he said, his voice warm. "Why didn't you wait for me to pick you up?" As Julian Zhou approached, Claire instinctively tried to step back. There was something about him that always made her want to retreat, but escape was never an option. "Mr. Zhou, you're a busy man," she said coolly. "My assistant can drive me. I wouldn't want to trouble you." Julian's eyes flickered to Martin. "This is your assistant?" "Yes. Is there a problem?" "He's just a child." "What kind of assistant is that? He looks like he hasn't even graduated from college. How can he be your assistant?" "Claire, I'll find you someone competent." "That won't be necessary. I think he's perfectly fine." Martin listened to their exchange, sensing the discord beneath their polite words. It was clear Claire despised this man. He decided to step in, extending his right hand. "Hello, Mr. Zhou. My name is Martin Ma, Ms. Zhou's assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you." Julian barely touched Martin's hand before letting go, as if he were contaminated. The disdain was palpable. Claire's smile tightened. "Excuse me, Mr. Zhou. I see an acquaintance over there. I need to say hello." She glanced at Martin, then turned and walked away. Martin gave Julian a polite nod and quickly fell into step beside her. Julian let out a cold snort before turning to greet someone else. Claire led the way to a lounge area in the back of the ballroom, found a quiet corner, and sipped a glass of champagne. Martin understood she was avoiding Julian, so he sat beside her in silence, nursing a glass of juice. After about 15 minutes, the banquet officially began. Claire shot Martin a look, then rose to find her assigned seat. Martin, of course, followed her. As everyone settled, Julian walked over and sat down right next to Claire. She couldn't help but glance at his place card. It clearly read Julian Zhou. She wanted to stand up and leave, but reason held her back. She turned and looked at Martin. At first, he didn't understand, but then his eyes landed on Julian, and it clicked. Seizing a moment when Julian was distracted, Martin swiftly swapped his own place card with Claire's. Then he stood up. "Excuse me, Miss Zhou," he said respectfully. "I believe you're in my seat. Shall we switch?" Julian looked over and saw that the card at Claire's spot now read Martin Ma. Feigning ignorance, Claire stood up and switched places with Martin, who now sat as a buffer between her and Julian. Julian was visibly annoyed. "Young man," he said to Martin, "let's trade seats." "Mr. Zhou, with all due respect, I am Ms. Zhou's assistant, not a young boy, and my job is to sit next to her." Julian, not expecting to be rebuffed, said curtly, "Assistant Ma, I am Ms. Zhou's boyfriend. We should be sitting together. Please move." Claire immediately shot back. "Martin is my boyfriend. You must be mistaken, Mr. Zhou. I believe your girlfriend is looking for you at the door." Martin's heart clenched. He was caught in the crossfire. Just then, a woman in a very revealing dress did indeed appear at the ballroom entrance, waving at Julian. Defeated, he got up and walked towards her. The banquet began. As the host spoke about investment themes, Martin, who was starving, carefully placed a delicate appetizer onto Claire's plate with the serving chopsticks. "Ms. Zhou, why don't you try this?" She took a bite. "It's fine. You should eat, too." Martin finally started eating, carefully and elegantly, savoring the excellent food. Julian never returned. After the banquet, Martin drove Claire back to the office's top floor. He was about to leave when she stopped him. "Martin, come in. I need to talk to you." He followed her into her office, and then into her private study. "Do you know how to make coffee?" she asked. "Yes. Where is it?" "In the small cabinet up there," she said, pointing. Martin skillfully prepared a pour-over coffee, even frothing some milk and creating a simple latte art design before handing it to her. "Oh, I didn't know you could do latte art," she said, surprised. "I learned at the club. It's not very good. Please, make do." Claire took a sip, then set the cup down. "Martin, let's make a deal." "A deal? What kind of deal could we possibly have?" "Martin, are you married?" "I haven't even graduated from college. Why would I be married? You never know. People from the countryside often marry young." "Well, I'm not a fan of early marriage." "Do you have a girlfriend?" "No time for that. Too busy. With your looks, you should have a girlfriend." "Ms. Zhou, can I ask you a question?" "What is it?" "Are you married?" "No." "Do you have a boyfriend?" "Hey, what is this? I'm asking you questions, and you're turning them back on me. It's just that with your looks and status, you should have plenty of boyfriends." "All right, I get your point. Let's not get sidetracked. Here is the deal. I need to get married, immediately. I want to hire you to be my temporary husband." "What? Temporary husband?" Martin almost choked on his coffee. "Yes, temporary. We will definitely get a divorce in the future. If I'm not mistaken, Miss Zhou, you're proposing a contract marriage." "You could put it that way. Why? I need to know the reason." "It's a long story. Let me lay out the terms, and you can think about it. It's a contract marriage, so we will have contracts. A prenuptial agreement and a marital agreement, both notarized. During the marriage, I'll give you a $10,000 monthly allowance. Your salary as my assistant is separate. She looked completely serious. Since you brought up my salary, is it still the minimum wage specified in my internship contract? What? Minimum wage? Who told you that? Well, no one told me what a CEO's assistant earns. All I have is my internship contract. Huh. Fine. I'll tell you now. As my assistant, your probationary salary is $15,000 a month, plus allowances and a full benefits package, including insurance and a 401k. All in, it's over $20,000 a month. Once you're a full-time employee, the base salary will increase to $20,000, plus other benefits. Oh, Martin wanted to say, that much? But he swallowed the words. What? You think it's too little? No, that's not it. Just to be clear, the salary and the allowance are separate? Yes, that's correct. What would I need to do in this contract marriage? Nothing. You don't need to do anything. We are just a boss and a subordinate. Nothing more. I see. Is there a time limit? Yes. The maximum term is about 3 years, but it could be as short as 1. When we sign the divorce papers, if it's after 1 year, I'll give you an additional $2 million. If we have to wait 3 years, I'll give you $5 million. Martin felt like he was mishearing things. Marry Claire Zhou, do nothing, get a $10,000 monthly allowance on top of a generous salary, and then get a payout of $2 to $5 million upon divorce. Did he even need to think about it? He wanted to say yes immediately, but that would make him seem too eager. Okay, he said calmly. I'll go back and think about it. I'll give you an answer. Don't take too long. You have 1 week. After 1 week, I need a yes or a no. All right. With the conversation over, Martin left for the day. Since he didn't have a parking spot at the university, he left the car in the company garage and took the bus back to his dorm. Back in his dorm, Martin lay on his bed, staring at the ceiling. He didn't text Mark. This was a decision he had to make alone. He couldn't shake a few nagging questions. Had Claire ever been married? Did she have children? How old was she really? He knew nothing about her. And why was she so desperate to get married that she would spend a fortune to hire him? The questions swirled in his mind, offering no answers. The only real question left was whether he should do it. He tossed and turned all night. The next morning, he arrived at work with dark circles under his eyes. At the end of the day, since he no longer had to rush to the club, he stayed late, working in his office long after everyone else had gone home. Claire noticed he was still there. Martin, we have no evening appointments. You can go home. Ms. Zhou, I have a personal question for you, if you don't mind. What is it? Have you ever been married? Do you have any children? Why are you asking? That's none of your business. But if I'm going to be your temporary husband, I can't be completely ignorant about your life, can I? Does this mean you agree to marry me? Frankly, my family is in urgent need of money. The terms you offered are very attractive. What happened to your family? It's a long story. We live in a remote mountain area. My dad used to work construction in the city to support us, while my mom farmed and raised poultry. We managed. But 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with cancer. The surgery wiped out all our savings. Now he can't work and needs ongoing medication, and he still has to support my sister and me through school. That's why I need the money. Why else would I have taken that job at the club? If you need the money that desperately, what is there to consider? Marrying me solves all your problems. I know, but even as a temporary husband, I'm still a husband. I can't know nothing about you. Miss, can you at least tell me the important parts? If you agree to register the marriage with me, I'll tell you. How about that? You could at least tell me how old you are. My age is irrelevant. It's not a real marriage. It doesn't matter to you. You're young. What do you have to worry about? Miss, you don't have to tell me now, but I'll find out when we register. We might as well get it over with. So you've agreed? If we can sign my employment contract as your assistant first, then I'll agree. I didn't realize someone so young could be so cunning. I like that, she said. Go find Amy Yong. She handles the employment contracts. Great. I'll see her tomorrow. I'm heading out now, miss. Don't tell anyone about our marriage. I can talk about it, but I assume you'd rather people didn't know, right? Claire said with a mischievous glint in her eye. Well, in that case, maybe we should work on building some chemistry first, so people aren't suspicious when we go to register. And how do you propose we do that? We could go on dates. Hold hands, maybe a little kiss. Get out of here. You wish. In your dreams. Miss, I'm a handsome guy. You could take advantage of me instead, to make it fair. I promise I won't resist. If you don't leave right now, I'm going to change my mind and find someone else at the club to replace you. A guy like me is hard to find, but I won't give you the chance. I'm leaving. Here's a parting gift. Martin blew her a kiss and quickly escaped. 2 days later, Claire told him, tomorrow, dress nicely. We're going to City Hall to register our marriage. Oh, so I can finally call you wifey? Wifey, let me hear you call me hubby. Get lost. Go get ready. Get a haircut and bring your ID and household registration. If I clean up too nicely, the registrar might try to steal me from you. Let them try. No one can outbid me. That's true. They don't have your money. Are you going to babble all day like an old woman? Bye, wifey. Martin fled the office. He went to a barber shop near the university campus. They were cheap since they mostly served students. Back in his dorm, he opened his small wardrobe and froze. He owned nothing but a few sets of casual, worn-out clothes. None of them were suitable. Then he remembered his roommate, Mark, had some nice outfits. He decided it was better to ask for forgiveness than permission. He opened Mark's closet, found a high-end looking suit, and tried it on. Luckily, they were about the same size. This would have to do. The next morning, Martin arrived at the company dressed in his friend's suit and walked into Claire's office. She was on the phone. When she hung up and turned around, the sight of him in a well-fitting suit made her pause. He really was unusually handsome, almost dazzling. A faint smile played on her lips. Ready? Yes, we can go. All right, let's go. They drove to the marriage registration center at City Hall. They followed the process: photos, vows, signatures. After all the paperwork was done, they were handed 2 small red booklets, the official marriage certificates, one for each of them. Martin opened his. His eyes widened. The beautiful woman's age was finally revealed. Claire Zhou was 38 years old, a full 17 years older than him. She was only a few years younger than his own mother. He couldn't believe it. She looked so much younger than his mom. No one would ever guess she was over 30. But there it was, in black and white. Whatever his shock, the deed was done. Legally, they were husband and wife. She was, for all intents and purposes, his wife. Wifey, he said, should we go get a nice meal to celebrate? Are you buying? Sure. I'll treat you. I'll take you somewhere you've never been before. Claire raised an eyebrow. The kid had a lot of nerve. Was there anywhere in this city she hadn't been? Martin parked in front of an old, historic-looking building. He opened the back door and extended a hand to help her out. Claire ignored it and got out on her own. Martin felt a little stung. This beautiful woman was certainly full of attitude. The place was a restaurant famous for its beggar's chicken and other local specialties. The food was not only delicious, but also affordable. Mark had brought him here when he first started college. The main hall was always packed, and the restaurant had a strict no reservations policy. First come, first served. It didn't matter if you were a billionaire or a regular person, you waited your turn. Martin had timed their arrival for before the main dinner rush, hoping to get a table. But even now, the place was full and buzzing with noise. He knew there were private rooms upstairs, though they came with a service charge. But to treat his new wife, he was willing to splurge. He led Claire upstairs to a table by the window and ordered the restaurant's famous specialties. He also ordered 2 drinks, putting a straw in hers before handing it to her. Claire had to admit, Martin was right. She had never been to this place. She had no idea a restaurant this popular even existed in the city. When the food arrived, the aroma was unlike anything she had ever smelled before, incredibly tempting. The presentation wasn't fancy, but the scent was intoxicating. Martin expertly took a small hammer and cracked open the clay shell of the beggar's chicken. The smell of the lotus leaf-wrapped roasted chicken that wafted out was so fragrant it made Claire's mouth water. So, wifey, smells good, right? Martin asked, pleased with himself. It smells all right, she said, trying to sound unimpressed. I wonder if it tastes any good. Here, try a leg. Martin put on a pair of disposable gloves, tore off a drumstick, and handed it to her. Wifey, put on a glove and eat it with your hands. It tastes even better that way. Claire obediently put on a glove, took the drumstick, and took a small bite. It was delicious. She couldn't help but take another, bigger bite. It was really good. She finished the entire drumstick. Seeing this, Martin tore off the other one and gave it to her. She took it and continued eating, polishing off both drumsticks. She tried the other dishes as well, eating with genuine enjoyment. It was clear she loved the food. Martin couldn't resist gloating a little. So, wifey, are you satisfied with this meal? It's fine. I'm surprised you found this place. I'll pay for this meal, as a thank you for introducing me to something so good. In the future, if you find any other places like this, just tell me. I'll pay. Great, but I'm paying for this one. I already said I would. Fine. You can treat me this one time. If I find another place you've never been, is there a reward? What kind of reward do you want? My reward is simple. You have to call me hubby. You little kid. You really think you're my husband? Humph. If you don't call me that, I won't take you to any more places, he said, pouting playfully. Claire couldn't stand his act and turned away from him. Martin went to pay the bill, then drove her back to the company. When Claire went into her study inside the office, Martin followed her. Wifey, it's our first day of marriage. How about a kiss? I've already told you, we're a married couple in name only. It's not real. You don't have to do anything to please me. I will transfer your allowance on time, Claire said, her expression serious. Hey, even if we are a fake couple, we're still legally married. I just want to see what it's like to be with you. I'm a handsome guy. You've already paid for me, wifey. Wouldn't it be a waste not to even give me a test run? I can't believe you want to turn this into a real thing. Whether you get a test run or not should be my decision, shouldn't it? When did you become so eager for me to test you out? As Claire spoke, a blush crept up her cheeks. Oh, so wifey could get shy? That was so tempting. Martin felt a bit shameless himself. Was this beautiful woman really going to just pay him and not use his services? It seemed his hard-earned physique was going to waste. As he was leaving, Claire said, "Martin, as my assistant, you must be familiar with all aspects of the company's business and get to know the leaders of each department." "All right. How long will you be gone, wifey? And another thing. In the company, don't call me wifey. Address me as Ms. Zhou, according to the rules. If you call me that again, I'll dock your allowance." "Understood, wifey." Yes, Ms. Zhou. I understand." The next morning, Martin drove Claire to the airport. After seeing her off, he returned to his office and called Amy Yang, asking her to come over and explain the company's various business operations in detail. Amy received the call from the CEO's new assistant and didn't dare to delay. She arrived at Martin's office, pushing a small cart loaded with files. "Whoa," Martin exclaimed. "Do I have to read all of that?" Amy pulled a thick binder from the cart and handed it to him. "Assistant Martin, this is our group's core business, automotive parts manufacturing. The relevant business materials are in here. Please review them when you have time." "Secretary Yang, can you give me an overview of the company's departmental structure and leadership?" "Of course. Let's start with the auto parts company. The general manager is Kevin Zhang, and there are 5 vice presidents. The binder in your hands contains information on all the department heads for that company." "Okay. It'll probably take me a whole day just to get through one company. If you can understand the entire auto parts company in one day, Assistant Martin, that would be quite remarkable. It's our group's most important company and one of our main businesses. Is there anything else you need to know?" Amy looked to be about 25 or 26. When she was seriously explaining the company information to Martin, her mature demeanor made him think she was quite an impressive young woman. As Amy was deep in her explanation, she noticed Martin's faint, unreadable smile. She froze, subconsciously wondering if her makeup was smudged or if there was a stain on her clothes. She had been working as a secretary at this company for nearly 3 years, ever since graduating from college. She had a boyfriend from her university days, but they were in a long-distance relationship due to their jobs, which made her constantly worry about its stability. And now, this devastatingly handsome younger colleague, who was also her superior, was looking at her like that. Her heart skipped a beat. "Assistant Martin, I'll just leave this card of documents in your office. You can look through them at your leisure. If you have any questions, you can ask me anytime." "All right. I'll look at the files first and find you if I have any issues. Then I'll get back to work. Take your time, Assistant Martin." Amy turned and walked out. Martin watched her go, thinking that Secretary Yang had a great figure. He wondered if she had a boyfriend. As Amy walked away, she felt a pair of eyes on her back, and her heart fluttered again. This Assistant Martin is as handsome as a movie star, she thought. He just started working here and shot straight up to become the CEO's assistant. He must have caught the CEO's eye. That's the only way to explain it. In her 3 years here, she had never seen anyone get promoted so fast. Except for this Martin. Lost in her thoughts, her phone buzzed. It was a text from her boyfriend. "What are you busy with?" She composed herself and typed back, "So busy. The new assistant to the CEO wanted me to brief him on the company. It took me all morning just to gather the files. My back and legs are killing me. Is this assistant a man or a woman?" "How old?" her boyfriend replied. "Ugh, every time I tell you something, you ask these pointless questions. I don't ask you if the people around you are men or women or how old they are." Her boyfriend's suspicious nature always got on her nerves. She didn't want to talk to him anymore. Back in his office, Martin began poring over the documents, taking notes in a thick notebook. By morning's end, he had already filled dozens of pages. The phone on his desk buzzed. It was a text from his best friend, Mark. "Hey bro, how's the new internship? Haven't heard from you in a couple of days. Are they giving you a hard time?" The text came with a goofy emoji. "Man, it's just been a lot. I'm still trying to get my bearings. I'll hit you up once I get a handle on things here." "What kind of company is it? Are they working you to death?" "It's a huge corporation, a group with several core businesses. It's massive. I can't even get through all the reading material. So what are you going to do? You still have the club job, right? Can you handle it all?" "I quit the club job. The internship company gave me a raise, and I was too busy anyway, so I left." "Oh, so the raise must have been pretty good if it made you quit your side gig." "Yeah, it's all right. How are things on your end?" "Man, I'm not as lucky as you. Still getting the same intern pay. It's barely enough for the cafeteria. My parents had to send me some money." "I'm jealous, bro. You have a great dad. Nothing to worry about." "Everything's a trade-off, man. Taking my dad's money means I have to listen to him lecture me. It's not all fun and games. I'd still rather be you." "Don't be like that, man. You've got the body, the abs, and a face prettier than most girls. There have got to be some rich older women in a big corporation like that. Once you catch one's eye, your problems will be over." "Oh, shut up. Rich women this, rich women that. Is that all you think about?" "Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't mind it. But I don't have what it takes. I'll just stick to relying on my dad." "It's already past quitting time. Why are you still messaging me?" "Yeah, I'm done for the day. I'm eating in the cafeteria while I text you. You're not off yet?" "I'm about to leave. Let's talk later. When are you coming back to campus? We should catch up." "Probably not until the next national holiday. We'll talk then." All right, man. Later, Martin put his phone down, organized his desk, and headed to the cafeteria. It was his first time eating there. The moment he appeared, a murmur went through the crowd. He walked up to the ordering kiosk, trying to figure out how it worked. A woman from behind the counter rushed over. Young man, what would you like to eat? First time here? Let me help you order. It's okay, I can. Before he could finish, she had grabbed his hand and started tapping randomly on the screen, ordering his lunch for him. Martin quickly pulled his hand away, paid with his phone, and took the receipt to the pickup window, leaving the woman smiling dreamily after him. After lunch, Martin returned to his office to continue reading. While looking through the supplier files for the auto parts company, he made a startling discovery. The legal representative for their largest supplier was Julian Zhou. This didn't make any sense. If Julian's company was a long-term, major partner of Claire's, shouldn't they be on familiar, friendly terms? Why had they acted like total strangers at the banquet? Why had Claire deliberately avoided him? There was definitely a story there. Something secret had happened between them. Martin's curiosity was piqued. Who could he ask? Claire certainly wouldn't tell him. But then he remembered her instructions. Get to know the department heads. The opportunity was right in front of him. In a company this large, someone had to know something. This was the perfect chance to do some digging. He might just uncover some of their secrets. Now he understood why Jason, his former team leader, had said the electronic data maintenance department was so important. That entire basement level was the company's heart. And his first day as an intern had been there. That was the logical place to start. He grabbed his notebook and took the elevator down to the B1 level. The moment the security guard saw him, he snapped to attention and saluted. Good afternoon, Assistant Martin. Welcome. Martin gave a small, smiling nod. The difference in attitude from his first visit was astounding. Status really did change everything. Just then, Manager Howard Huang came striding out of the office. His face broke into a wide grin. Assistant Martin, welcome. Come into my office for some tea. Howard enthusiastically shook Martin's hand and then draped a friendly arm over his shoulder, ushering him into the office like they were old friends. Martin, still not used to being treated with such reverence, felt a bit awkward. Howard personally poured him tea, and Martin, unsure how to refuse, politely accepted. Mr. Huang, you don't have to go to such trouble. Since I'm new to the company, I'm not very familiar with the business operations. I was hoping you could brief me on the functions of your department, the daily workflow, and any key points I should be aware of. Oh, Martin, my brother, don't be so formal. It's not a briefing, just a chat. Here, drink your tea first, then we can talk. Martin dutifully drank the tea. I hear you're a veteran employee, Mr. Huang. You must be an expert on the company's business. Please, tell me about it. Ha ha ha. Brother Martin, you came to the right person. I've been with the company for over a decade. Veteran is right. Whatever you want to know, just ask. I'll tell you everything I know. Thank you so much, Mr. Huang. What kind of parts does our auto company primarily manufacture? Do we have any flagship products? Our flagship product is definitely our car engine production line. It's the most advanced in the country. No one has surpassed it. Wow, that's impressive. Sales must be incredible. Who are the main suppliers for the raw materials? Let me think. Ms. Zhou would know best. I heard it's her boyfriend's company that supplies the raw materials. Boyfriend? Martin nearly spat out his tea. Yes, boyfriend. A man named Julian Zhou. He's the boss of Zhou Corporation. A big shot. He and our Ms. Zhou are a perfect match, from a good family. Even though people don't care about that stuff as much anymore, you still need to be well matched. Don't you agree, brother? Is that Zhou Corporation the main supplier for the auto parts company? I believe so. They supply the engine chips. It's the most critical technology. You could say they are a life or death supplier for us. The old man is very fond of Mr. Zhou. He's been pushing for the two families to be joined by marriage. The old man. Ms. Zhou's father. The chairman. Oh, so are they married? Not yet, I don't think. Howard suddenly lowered his voice. According to the grapevine, Ms. Zhou has someone else she's in love with. She doesn't really like Mr. Zhou, so the whole thing has been dragging on. Do you know who she's in love with? That's hard to say. Some say it was her assistant, your predecessor. Others say it was a classmate from when she studied abroad. No one is really sure. What was my predecessor like? Howard pulled his chair closer and whispered in Martin's ear. Your predecessor was a great beauty, just as stunning as you. Wait, are you saying Miss Zhou is a lesbian? Hey, I don't know about that. But this beautiful assistant, on the surface, she was a beauty, but she was tough as nails in business. More ruthless than any man. So people behind her back used to say she must be a man disguised as a woman, to hide from the chairman. Why did she leave? That's a long story. It's almost quitting time. Oh right, I've taken up so much of your time. How about I treat you to dinner, if you're free? Howard chuckled. I'm on duty tonight, brother. I can't leave until 9. I see. In that case, how about I order some takeout? We can go out to a restaurant some other time when you're free. That works for me. Martin pulled out his phone, found a good takeout place on an app, and handed the phone to Howard. Take a look, brother. Order whatever you like. Howard browsed for a moment and chose a moderately priced combo meal. Martin smiled, ordered one for himself, and added 2 drinks. As they waited, Howard told him more. Zhou Corporation was also a massive conglomerate. The chairman had known Julian's father for years. They were old business partners. Julian took over after his father passed away 2 years ago. This Mr. Zhou studied abroad, just like Ms. Zhou, Howard continued. Ever since he took over the family business, he developed advanced automotive chip technology. The business boomed, and he became a leader in the industry. The chairman really admires him and has always hoped he and Ms. Zhou would get together. Mr. Zhou must be getting on in years, right? Is he not married? No, I think he has been married before. That might be another reason Ms. Zhou is reluctant. After all, Ms. Zhou has never been married. What? Ms. Zhou has never been married. Hey, don't assume she's a player just because she's beautiful. She's not. She's very single-minded. The rumor is she's holding out for the person she loves, refusing her father's arrangement. That's why she's still not married. So why did my predecessor quit? Well, that's all hearsay, not confirmed. I'll tell you some other time when I'm free. Your phone is ringing. It must be the delivery. Martin saw his phone vibrating nonstop. He answered it and had the delivery person leave the food with security, who brought it in. Martin and Howard ate and chatted about other things. After dinner, not wanting to disturb Howard any longer, Martin said his goodbyes and headed back to his dorm. Based on what Howard Huang had told him, Martin felt he had a slightly better grasp of Claire's situation. He guessed that her sudden rush to marry him was likely a way to escape her father's pressure to marry Julian. Back in his dorm, he mulled over the information. What about the other rumor, that she might have a boyfriend? And was his predecessor, the assistant, a man or a woman? The questions continued to plague him. The next morning, just as he was about to leave for work, his phone rang. It was Claire. Martin, I'm back from my trip. I've just landed. Come pick me up. Oh, wifey, you're back. That's great. I was just thinking how much I missed you. Just wait there. I'll be right over. Martin hung up, hailed a ride to the company garage, and sped toward the airport. He parked in the designated pickup area and scanned the crowds flowing out of the terminal. Suddenly, he spotted a familiar figure. Claire, looking sharp and professional, was walking out with a small suitcase. He rushed forward, took the suitcase from her, his eyes sparkling with adoration. Wifey, I missed you like crazy. Onlookers smiled at the picture-perfect couple. Claire, unable to make a scene, turned her back to the crowd and shot Martin a furious glare. He pretended not to see, grinning as he led the way. That little brat has some nerve, she fumed silently. Martin put the suitcase in the trunk and opened the front passenger door. But Claire opened the back door herself and slid in. Undeterred, Martin said cheerfully, Wifey, you must be tired after your trip. Can you take me with you next time? A day without you feels like 3 years. If you keep talking, it'll be dark before we get back to the company. I have a lot to do. Right away, Martin started the car. Back at the office, employees greeted them as they walked to her office. Good afternoon, Ms. Zhou. Good afternoon, Assistant Martin. Once inside, Claire looked exhausted. Martin asked, Ms. Zhou, can I get you something to drink? Have you had lunch? Just order me some takeout, with a soup, and come to my study. I need to talk to you. Martin quickly ordered the food, then went into her study and made her a mocha. After they sat down, Claire's expression turned serious. The company is facing a tough battle ahead. Will you help me? We're husband and wife now. As they say, when a couple works together, they can break metal. Your business is my business, wifey. Just tell me what to do, and I'll do it without hesitation. You don't have to sweet-talk me. And I told you not to call me wifey at the office. You keep forgetting. You're going to cause trouble one of these days. I won't, wifey. It's just us here. I know how to behave. Was this business trip about something important? Have you heard of a trade war? Of course. It's always in the news. The trade friction between our country and the US. Is it about our chips? Oh, you know about the chips. It seems you've done your homework. Of course. After you left, I spent all my time reading the company files. A whole cart full of them. I know a bit about the auto parts company. Then do you know about Zhou Corporation? I do. You mean that Julian guy? Has he been bullying you? Julian is not a simple man. He's a business genius. You have to be careful with him. He has us by the throat right now. Sooner or later, he'll try to swallow our entire group. I heard the chairman likes him a lot and wants you to marry him. What's that all about? You even managed to dig that up. I really can't underestimate you, Claire said, raising an eyebrow. Just then, Martin's phone rang. The takeout had arrived. Wifey, you rest. I'll go get the food. He hurried down to grab it, then carefully arranged it in front of her. Wifey, you must be starving. Eat first, we can talk later. Here's the soup. Be careful, it's hot. Claire took the soup and began to eat. By the time she finished, Martin had printed out the relevant data he had compiled over the past few days. Claire looked through it, a flicker of appreciation in her eyes. The kid wasn't just a pretty face, he was competent. Maybe he could actually be a real help. She decided to give him a little more information to see what he thought. If Julian finds out I married you, he'll be furious. He might even cut off our chip supply. What do you think we should do? I bet that bastard would do exactly that. We need to be fully prepared before he finds out. The question is how. Do you have any good suggestions? I looked up Julian's background online. I heard he also studied abroad. The chip technology he has comes from a European company, and it seems he developed it with a classmate. Can we contact this classmate? A barely perceptible smile touched Claire's lips. The kid's mind worked well. This time, he might have stumbled upon the right solution. She cleared her throat. What you're saying has some merit. This business trip, I went to find Julian's classmate. See, wifey? We're on the same wavelength. What I was thinking, you were already doing. That's great. So did you find him? Take a guess. Yeah, wifey, if I guess right. Will you give me a smile? Claire pressed her lips together, looking at him. You definitely found him, right? Come on, wifey, smile for your hubby. A soft chuckle escaped her lips. Then she broke into a full laugh. Martin watched her, captivated. Her smile was bright and lovely, like a blooming flower. For the first time, he felt a genuine sweetness. As she laughed, she playfully tapped his shoulder. Martin seized the opportunity and gently squeezed her hand. Wow, so soft. He wanted to hold on forever, but didn't dare. He reluctantly let go. As he cleaned up the takeout containers, he said, Wifey, get some rest today. Now that we've found the person, we've taken the first step. We'll definitely figure out how to handle him. I'm heading home now. Let me know when you figure out the next step. We'll tackle it together. Claire nodded. All right. Close the door on your way out. I'm going to take a shower. Got it. Martin left with the trash, closed the door, and took the bus back to his dorm. Back in his dorm, Martin searched for Zhou Corporation's official website. He found Julian's bio. Julian Zhou, male, 42, chairman of Zhou Group. Last year, Zhou Group was ranked among China's top 500 enterprises. Its engine chip technology was world-class, making it a leader in the auto parts industry, and it was constantly expanding. The information was piecemeal, not very detailed. From his first impression, Martin knew the man was incredibly ambitious. If he and Claire had a long-standing family connection and was favored by Chairman Jonah Zhou, why would he try to swallow up the Zhou Group through marriage? And why couldn't the chairman see it? While Claire had figured it out, Martin couldn't find an answer. His thoughts turned to Howard Huang. The head of data maintenance seemed to know a lot about the company. He just hadn't revealed the whole story. How could Martin get him to talk? He started to formulate a plan. Not long after he arrived at work the next day, Julian Zhou came to see Claire. Claire called Martin into her office. Martin walked in to find Julian there. Speak of the devil. Martin dutifully poured Julian a cup of tea. Julian just nodded at him in greeting, then sat in front of Claire's desk, sipping his tea. Claire, any success on your trip to Europe? Your nose is incredibly sharp, Julian. I'm impressed you can sniff out my whereabouts. Don't play games with me, Claire. I know why you went to Europe. I just don't understand why you always treat me with such hostility. I don't know what you mean by hostility. Don't forget, our two companies are crucial partners. If this is hostility, then I really don't know what a friendly relationship looks like. Claire, we've known each other since we were kids. We practically grew up together. Do we need to be so formal? Julian, since we're on the topic, let's not beat around the bush. To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit? I came to tell you to stop looking for that person. He's unreliable. I had a falling out with him myself, which is why I came back to our country to develop my business. I hope you see him for who he is and don't fall for his tricks. Also, I wanted to ask you something. Ever since we started working together, I've always prioritized supplying the Zhou company, and the prices have been stable. What exactly are you worried about, Claire? You just said it yourself. What would I have to worry about? Are you being overly sensitive, Julian? You know very well whether I'm being sensitive or not. One more thing. The chairman asked me to persuade you to go home more often. Don't always live at the company. What father doesn't care about his child? He misses you. Don't be angry with him. You don't trust your own father, yet you'd rather trust some irrelevant outsiders. Think about what I've said, Claire. Julian stood up to leave. Only then did he notice Martin standing behind him the whole time, listening. A flicker of jealousy crossed Julian's face. He spoke to Martin curtly. You're here to work for Ms. Zhou, not to be a decoration. What are you doing just standing here? Don't you have anything to do? Oh, don't you worry, Mr. Zhou. I can be a decoration and I can work. Now that you're leaving, it's my turn to work. Claire bit her lip to keep from laughing. That little brat had a sharp tongue. Rebuffed, Julian gritted his teeth and walked out. Martin had gleaned some new information from their conversation. They were childhood friends. What could have happened to create such an adversarial relationship? He had to find out. And why was Claire living at the company instead of at home? He needed to understand that too. As he was thinking, Claire spoke. Martin, go and compile the last 10 years of chip purchase order data from the auto parts company. Bring it to me. It's not urgent, but I need it fast. Right away. I'll get on it. Back in his office, Martin called Amy Yang. Amy, I need a favor. Do you have the procurement data for our auto parts company's chips? Oh, Assistant Martin, the procurement data is with the finance department. I'll go find it for you right now. Just a moment. I'll bring it over as soon as I have it. I need the last 10 years. That much? Okay, I understand. Thanks, Amy. But, you're welcome, Assistant Martin. But, just as he hung up, the phone rang again. It was his friend, Mark. Hey bro. Done with work. Hey man, just finished. I'm calling you right away. The national holiday is in 2 days. Any plans? Going anywhere? Probably not. Going out costs money, you know? But I'll go home for a visit. In that case, I'll come back to the dorm first for a bit. I need to grab some things anyway, then I'll head home too. My parents gave me a strict order to come back. Sounds good. I'll wait for you at the dorm. We can catch up. I'll treat you to dinner. Wow, someone got a raise. All right, bro, I'll take you up on that. Bye. See you soon. Martin hung up and texted Claire. Wifey, the national holiday is in 2 days. Hubby wishes you a happy holiday. Are you taking a break? Should we do something together? Let me know if you have to work. I'll stay and keep you company. He added a big red heart emoji. After becoming an assistant, Martin had started looking through files left by his predecessor. Now, tasked with compiling 10 years of data, he wondered if his predecessor might have left something useful behind. He began to meticulously search the office filing cabinets. After some time, he noticed Claire had texted him back. I have another business trip. You focus on your work. We'll review it when I get back after the holiday. Well, in that case, Martin decided he would go home to visit his parents during the holiday. Martin found the last 2 years of chip procurement orders in the cabinet. He quickly created a spreadsheet on his computer to start compiling the data. Then, he went through all the files Amy had brought him, year by year, inputting the data. He spent 2 full days holed up in his office and managed to finish the statistical analysis just before the holiday began. He emailed the spreadsheet to Claire with a note. My dearest wifey, I finished the task you gave me ahead of schedule. Take a look when you have a moment. Also, while you're away, remember to eat well and sleep well. And one more thing you must remember. Think of me every day and say hubby 3 times before you go to sleep every night. Love, your husband. Claire, perhaps because she was too busy, didn't reply to his email. She only sent a text telling him to take her to the airport. Martin arrived at her office on time, took her suitcase, and drove her to the airport. Before she left, he tried to take her hand. As he handed her the suitcase, he deliberately clasped her small hand and whispered, Wifey, come back soon. I think about you every day now. I really do. Sometimes I even dream about you. How about a farewell kiss? A pink blush spread across her face. Her expression, a mixture of annoyance and pleasure, mesmerized him. He squeezed her hand a little tighter, leaned in close to her neck, and brushed his lips against her hair. Wifey, I wish I could go on this business trip with you. The warmth of his breath tickled her. She turned her head to avoid him and pulled her hand back. I'm about to board. Don't dawdle. We're not a real couple. We don't need to do all this. Go on, I have to go. Martin reluctantly let her go, watching as she disappeared into the departure lounge. He then drove the company car back to the university. After circling for a while, he finally found a paid parking spot. He parked the car and went back to his dorm to pack for his trip home. While waiting for Mark, he went out to buy some daily necessities that were hard to find in his hometown, planning to take them to his parents. Mark arrived the next morning. They embraced tightly, slapping each other on the back. Good to see you again, brother. They pulled apart, looked each other over, and then hugged again. It's been too long, Martin said. Let's go out to eat. We can drink and chat. Let's do it. Martin led Mark to his company car. Mark whistled in amazement. You're holding out on me, brother. Since when do interns get company cars? What's your real job? Spill it. I'm the assistant to the group CEO now. That's why I have a car. At first, I couldn't believe it myself. I was worried I'd get fired in a few days, so I didn't tell you. But I'm telling you now, right? All right, I'll let it slide. Or else. But seriously, you went for an intern interview and suddenly became the CEO's assistant? What happened that I don't know about? Man, it was totally unexpected. I just got lucky. On my first day, I ran into the CEO, and her assistant had just quit. She needed someone, so she put me in the role. The pay must be good, right? For you to be so generous and offer to buy me dinner. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't have to work part-time anymore. Bro, you gotta hook a brother up sometime. Get me a job at your company. It's hard to say right now. I've only been there for less than a month. Once I'm a full-time employee and you've finished your internship, I'll look for an opportunity to help you out. I hope we can work at the same company. All right, my future is in your hands, brother. Don't you forget. Since when did you become such a drama queen? Even without me, you'd be doing just fine. We have different fates, man. I don't have your killer looks. If I'm not mistaken, your CEO must be an older woman, right? What older woman? She's not even married. She's a beautiful young lady. Look at you, getting all defensive. Did I hit the nail on the head? Come on, be honest. Are you sleeping with her? What are you talking about? What do you mean, sleeping with her? Is that all you think about? You must be fooling around out there. I wish. It's been a dry spell. There are no girls at my internship company. No one to even try to flirt with. I don't believe that. With your skills, no girl can escape your grasp. How many first years did you dump in college? I can't even count on 2 hands. Are you making fun of me? All the girls in college were scooped up by rich kids. I wasn't interested in the rest. In the end, I'm just like you, a virgin. What a miserable life. We really are brothers in misery. Come on, let's go out, find a good restaurant, and eat our sorrows away. Now that's my brother. It's been worth looking out for you all this time. Ha! The two friends got in the car. Mark navigated them to a restaurant. They found a booth and Mark ordered. When the food came, they dug in. Martin said, "Bro, can you dig up any information on car engine chips?" "What for?" "It's something our company desperately needs. If you can find anything, it would be a huge help in getting you a job there." "Oh, I see. All right, I'll do some digging when I get home. You might not know this, but my dad is a section chief at the city's high-tech development bureau." "Holy crap, your dad can help? That's great. I hope you can find something. Bro, I'm counting on you. Here, let's toast with tea." "All right, if I find something useful, you better take care of me." "Of course, that goes without saying. You should really look into that field. You could have a great future in it." I'll take your advice. I'll seriously look into it." The two brothers ate and drank, then returned to the dorm. Mark packed his bag and had Martin drive him to the train station to head home. After dropping Mark off, Martin packed his own things and started the long drive to his hometown. It was over 300 kilometers away, in a poor, remote mountainous area. For years, the lack of a proper road had kept the economy stagnant. But 2 years ago, the town had pooled funds to build a road. It wasn't a major highway, but it was a solid, two-lane road. With it, villagers could finally take their crops to the town market to sell, increasing their income. Martin's mother was one of them. By day, she worked as a sanitation worker in town. In her spare time, she tended her vegetable garden, harvesting the produce and hauling it to the market on a tricycle. She worked from dawn till dusk just to make ends meet. Fortunately, her son was sensible and didn't require any financial support from home while at university. He even sent money back regularly. That evening, after selling her vegetables, Martin's mother was pedaling her tricycle home. The sun had set, and darkness was falling. A luxury car followed slowly behind her. Inside, Martin watched his mother's straining figure, his eyes blurring with tears. He switched on his high beams to light the unlit road for her. He followed her all the way home, then parked on the side of the road. It was only then that his mother realized the driver was her son, the son she missed every day. She ran over and hugged him, though he was a head taller than her. "Old Ma, come out," she shouted joyfully. "Our son is home." He drove a car. Martin's sister, Mia, helped their father out. Sure enough, their son was home, with a fancy car. A thought nagged at Martin's father. His son was only a senior in college. How could he afford such a nice car? Having worked on construction sites in the city, he knew what luxury looked like. He worried his son might have gotten involved in something illegal. That would lead to ruin. Martin hugged his mother, then helped his father to a seat in the courtyard. "Dad, Mom, I'm home for the holiday. I brought some things, let me get them from the car." "I'll help you, bro," Mia said. They brought everything inside, piling it up. His mother was overjoyed, opening each item. But his father's face was stern. "Son, what have you been up to? Where did you get the money for all this? And that car? Tell me the truth." His mother stopped, her face filled with worry. Martin knew his honest parents were scared. "Dad, Mom, don't worry. I earned this money through honest work. The car belongs to my company. It's not mine. I couldn't afford a car like this." "A company car? You found a job? But you haven't graduated yet," his mother asked. "Yes, Mom. I was originally an intern, but I got promoted to be the CEO's assistant. The car comes with the job." "A CEO's assistant? Is that a high-ranking position?" his mother asked. I'm not sure," his father mumbled. "Oh, I know," Mia chimed in. "An assistant to a CEO is a senior management role. Having a company car is normal." "You're amazing, bro." His parents seemed relieved. "How much does a CEO's assistant make a month?" Martin, not wanting to reveal the contract marriage, downplayed it. "I'm still on probation, so the salary isn't that high yet. With allowances, it's about $7,000 or $8,000 a month." "Wow, that's more than you used to make on the construction site," his mother exclaimed. "This is wonderful. Our son is successful. Now you can rest and take your medicine." Mia added, "Bro, it's great you're earning money. There's a targeted therapy drug that can help Dad's illness, but it's not covered by insurance. Dad didn't want to take it because it's too expensive." "Really? That's great news." "Dad, you have to take it. I eat at the company cafeteria and live in the dorm. I don't spend much. We can use the money for your medicine. You have to take it and get better." "That's right," his mother agreed. "Your dad needs to listen to his son. We don't have to worry about money now. Your sister still has college to pay for," his father said, shaking his head. "Don't worry about money, Dad. I'm on probation now. When I become a full-time employee, my salary will be over $10,000 a month. I can cover Mia's tuition." "That's right, Dad," Mia said. "Please, take the medicine. I'm grown up now. I can get a part-time job in college. With my brother here, we'll get through this." "Exactly. Our son is home. Let's have a family dinner. Come on, son, help your mom cook. You two just sit and wait. I'll cook tonight." Martin went to the kitchen and got to work. Mia joined him, and soon they had a steaming meal on the table. The family sat together, eating happily. "Dad, I'll take you to the hospital for a full checkup tomorrow," Martin said. "Yes, you have to go," Mia urged. "It's convenient with the car." "That's right," his mother added. "The city hospital is better equipped." You and Mia should come too, Martin said. We haven't been to the city as a family in a long time. After Dad's checkup, we can walk around a bit. Mia's face lit up. Great idea. Having a car is the best. The next day, Martin took his father to the city hospital. The doctor confirmed that the targeted therapy was suitable for his father's condition. He just needed to take the medication daily and come back for regular checkups. The drug was expensive, and Martin used all the money in his account to buy it. Before leaving, he instructed his mother and sister to make sure their father took his medicine on time and to call him if there were any changes. He spent the rest of the holiday helping his mother with her farm work and taking care of his father, which brought his parents great comfort. At the end of the holiday, Martin said goodbye and drove back to the city. He parked the car near the university and went to his dorm. Mark was already back. Brother, Mark said excitedly. I didn't let you down. I told my dad about your company's situation. He said the chip industry is huge, with applications in every field, from airplanes and cars to home appliances and smartphones. He also said there are several powerful chip manufacturers in the country. Look, I brought you all the information on them. Martin took the files, his heart soaring. Bro, this could be a huge help to the company. I'll take it to Ms. Zhou tomorrow. I'll make sure she knows you're the one who got this. Hopefully, I can get you a good position. I'm counting on you, bro. If this works out, we can make something of ourselves together. By the way, how's your dad? Thanks for asking. His condition is stable now that he's on the right medication. I took him for a checkup and used all my money to buy his medicine. I'm broke now, so I can't treat you to another fancy dinner. But I brought back some local specialties from my hometown. How about we have hot pot tonight? I'll make it. Say no more. That's even better. I've been eating so much at home. I'm dying for something different. You get it ready. I'll go buy some beers. We'll have a good drink. All right, bro. You go. I'll handle the rest. The two friends ate hot pot and drank beer, talking about their future working together. They cleaned up, then got ready for bed. Martin lay in bed and texted Claire. Wifey, I'm back. I went home to see my parents and brought back some local food you've definitely never tried. I'll make it for you sometime. I'm a great cook. What are you up to? Did you miss me? I have good news about the chip situation. I brought back some information. Will I see you tomorrow? I've missed you so much. I think about you every day and even dream about you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Wifey, text me back. And remember to call me hubby. Good night. Claire was about to go to sleep when her phone buzzed nonstop. It was Martin. She read his messages one by one, a smile on her face as she muttered. That little brat is such a smooth talker. He must have a long line of girls falling for his sweet talk. Does he really think of me as his wife? She shook her head with a wry smile. It was impossible. She was so much older than him. Then again, she thought, didn't we agree this was just a marriage in name only? Why is he trying so hard to charm me? Is he just trying to get more money out of me? She put her phone down and picked up a stack of documents. On her trip, a close friend had helped her meet with Julian's former partner, Joel Chiao. From him, she had learned a great deal. It turned out that Julian and Joel had co-developed the engine chip technology. Julian, driven by his ambition to monopolize the domestic market, had secretly kept all the technical data for himself before returning to China to start his own production. Joel, who had used his former company's resources for the research, was fired when the company found out. His years of hard work were stolen by Julian. Now, using his experience and memory, Joel had managed to recreate the chip technology. He had even compared it to Julian's product and found them to be nearly identical. Joel was looking for investors when Claire found him. She offered to buy his technology and form a company with him, giving him a stake as compensation. The problem was, she didn't have enough capital to build a new production line. She needed her father's approval. She worried about how to convince him. When Claire returned to the office, she saw Martin and called him over. He immediately grabbed the files from Mark and went to her office, his face beaming like he'd won the lottery. He handed her the files. Ms. Zhou, a close friend of mine got this information through his connections. It's all about domestic chip manufacturers. See if it's helpful. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in this. I'll look at it carefully. Right now, there's something more important I need your help with. Whatever you need, Ms. Zhou. Your business is my business. I'm here for you. I'm serious this time, kid. I'm going to tell my father about our relationship. I want him to give up on the idea of me and Julian for good. Then I'll convince him to fund a new chip production line. That's what I've been waiting for. Don't worry, wifey, I'll cooperate completely. I'll do whatever you want me to do. This is great. I can finally call you wifey in public. I'm so happy I could die. Aren't you afraid of Julian's retaliation? What's there to be afraid of? Is he going to kill me? All right. In a couple of days, you're coming home with me. Go buy 2 decent outfits, clean yourself up, and wait for my signal. You got it, wifey. After Martin left, Claire looked through the files he'd brought. She discovered that several of the domestic chip manufacturers were industry leaders, each with different upstream suppliers. An idea sparked. Could she purchase the production line equipment she needed through these companies? Mark's information was a huge help. It gave her a targeted list of companies to contact for business negotiations. It seemed this young man, Martin, wasn't just for show. He had potential. A small, knowing smile played on Claire's lips.